So hello and welcome to Factorio, your very own factory simulator. Only it's not really a factory simulator. Like you're not buying a building and essentially Sims instead of people. It's actually building stuff. This one's more like an RTS where you're like a commander. You go around collecting resources, you build stuff, and eventually at the end of the game you build a rocket silo and launch a satellite into space. That is the goal of free play. And so we'll get into it now. I'm just going to leave everything normal with the exception of peaceful mode. I'm not going to deal with the worms. The worms are still there, and eventually towards the end of the game I am going to have to go kill them, but they're not going to impede my building, which means I really don't need to build any turrets or walls or anything like that. Not that they're really that big a pain, but it's just, for me, it's more enjoyable without them, so I'm just turning off the enemies. So let's generate. And here we go. So again, the whole point is to build a rocket silo and launch a satellite. So in order to do that, you have to research technologies, as it said, which takes a while, and the rocket silo and the satellites take a lot of resources in order to build. So now I am doing a little bit of exploring. Right now this black stuff is all coal. This bluish stuff is iron. I'm actually looking for a little bit of a copper deposit, just so I know where I want to start building a factory, because I don't want to have to drag the copper halfway across the map if I don't have to. If I can just plant my factory in the middle, we'll call it good. The purple stuff on the map up here, that's what I'm looking at. This is all oil. Eventually we will be tapping it. Wow, this is not a good seed so far for copper. There's only a little bit right here. We're going to see it in a little bit. There's only a little bit right there. There's some more. Ooh, that's a big copper patch. Holy crap. So this, I might use this. This will definitely be my main one for later. So I might just use this little one up here for now. I don't really need a whole lot of copper to start with. Copper is more of a mid to late game stuff when you start getting into electronics and technology. Yeah, this is very large. Okay. So I am going to use this copper for now. Eventually I will use the big stuff down there. This will be my primary source of iron, and it looks like my primary source of coal will be here for now. I'll probably use this coal for that copper. Alright, so let's get some wood. Oops. Let's build an axe. Yes, an iron pickaxe helps you chop wood. So anyways, the start of the game is very manual, labor intensive. You're doing a lot of the work yourself, but eventually you're gonna build automated systems for the entire construction process, from extracting resources to smelting it down into usable forms and into actually manufacturing and assembling some products. So what I'm gonna do is drop you down. I'm gonna put a box. The box is gonna collect it. And this yellow arrow is the output, so this thing runs on wood and even coal. I don't understand it, because if you know anything about engineering, when things are run on coal, they're not really run on coal. They burn the coal to boil water, and then the water is turned into steam. The steam is then turned back into water, and in that process, they extract the energy out into a mechanical form, which turns a generator and makes electricity. So, I mean, we'll see later that we're making steam engines. And this is, the correct process for coal, but for some reason, this stuff just runs on coal without any water. Anyways, side note. So my goal right now is to make some more mining drills, and for that I'll need some iron. Actually, it's taking me a long time to do iron, so I'm just gonna take this stuff, I think. Use the drills to help me get the iron quicker. There we go. Okay. So now this thing's automating iron mining. I just need to get some copper. Not copper, coal. So my goal for this episode is to get electricity going, which we'll get into in about 5 or 10 minutes, and get the iron process automated with coal and the iron ore. How you doing? Got 11. Is that enough to build one yet? No. I need stone. Did I see any stone? Ah, there's some stone down here. Okay, cool. So, like I said, very labor intensive. I'm doing a lot of work. Okay, so I have enough to make another mining drill. I want to make another one though. The reason I want to make two so that I can do this. I'm gonna do this. What's the other one's made? I'm gonna do this. So now they're feeding into each other, which means I will never have to refill them. In fact, later on I can come back and just grab the coal from them. And so they don't actually need a chest because they kind of act like a chest to each other, so that's nice. So let's fill you guys up. You're still running on wood, I'll leave you alone. Alright, so now we got that going. I need more stone. I want to automate my stone process here. Oh, you only need 5 for that. Never mind, my bad. So drop in the box. Now you are going to insert into the... I need more coal. Now for this game, I'm not actually using any mods. There are mods available which make ease of life changes. Things like I can reach this from very, very far where I can't now. With the mods, it does ease of life things like that. I have not started playing with mods yet. I know they exist. And probably after this playthrough, I will be looking into doing some mods. Alright, so I'm going to start the copper production. Like I said, I don't really need a whole lot of copper right away. The big thing is iron. Sure. Furnace, thank you. Okay. I don't have any... you know, I'll just use wood for now. Another thing I want to do is get 4 drills up there mining coal, just like they did. So they produce more, so I have a good abundance of that. There. And now they're feeding into each other. I'm doing a little extra wood mining because in a little bit when we start getting to electricity, I will need wood for making power lines. Think of just your regular power lines. You need a wood post with wire, right? And so with the similar thing down here, I forgot to mention it, that the arrows will feed the iron directly into the furnace. Alright, so now that the iron's relatively good, let's start getting electricity going. So the boilers boil the water, which then feeds the steam engines, and then with the steam engines is where you extract the electricity to get the power out, just like in the real world. Now in this game, the optimal ratio is 14 boilers to 10 steam engines. Where should I put them? It's not really a good place for me around here. I think I'm going to do it on the other side of the copper here. I don't want to use this lake. I need to put it next to a water source, and I don't want to put it here because the steam engines take up a lot of space. And I know eventually I'm going to want to tap this oil up here. So what I think I'm going to do is put it on this lake and face it that way, or maybe on this lake and face it that way. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot over here. Plus there's not a whole lot of trees, which is also a good thing. However, these are relatively small lakes, so they might not be able to get enough water. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot up here either, so... is that a stone? That is a stone. So if I just do it in that crevice, I should be fine. Okay, cool. So I want to put the steam engines going here. The red dots are the worms, but as I said, it's on passive, so they're not going to attack me. It's not a big deal. Let's go check on my copper production. You're out of resources. Yes, there is a day and night cycle, as you can plainly see. Now I don't need to do 14 boilers right away and 10 steam engines right away. It saves me trips later if I just do it right now. And by making it there, I can use the coal from here, I think? Yeah. I will need one of those. So that's another really interesting thing about this game. And if you've watched, or if you haven't watched any speedrunners of this game, I would highly suggest doing it. It's actually quite impressive what they can do. And in speedrunning, the big thing is crafting while you're doing other stuff. And as you notice, I was crafting, but I was still able to do stuff. So it doesn't impede what you're doing except for crafting. So now we have the optimal ratio of that. We will need this at some point, so I guess I'll just make it now. We'll need a lot of those, so let's go make some poles. So one thing with the crafting system here is that it grabs the resources, the raw resources that you need in order to make it out of your inventory. So you can make a ton of stuff, pick up some more stuff, queue a ton more stuff, and just keep picking up resources and just extend your queue indefinitely. Alright, so we got a lab. We are not ready to use the lab yet until we get power. Next thing I'll be doing is making some of these guys, but I need more iron. And these are going to feed the boilers. I'll need 5, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 14. And then we need to get the coal to them. Now, at first, I could just manually do it myself, but for how far away it's going to be, I would rather get it automated as soon as possible. Alright, so I'm going to go get the boiler system set up and run some power lines. Right now I'm short on iron because I need to make some more of these conveyor belts. I am going to use this coal first, I think, to feed them, so I'll need quite a bit. You can actually do all of this, and then if I make one more here, yeah. Okay. Another interesting thing about this too is, in addition to that whole coal-powered electronics thing, with the insert, because this thing is also coal-powered, which again doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But all right, so I want to avoid this rock. Let's dump. Let's just go up here, I think. Oh, I need pipes. Oh, I don't have any iron. Shoot. Alright, let's just dump those then. And however far away that is, I don't know. Ooh, I've almost got enough of these, actually. Okay, I need more resources. Alright, so I'm going to make one of those for sure. You're out of power. And then I need to make a few more of these. And the other ones are fine. Okay. So now I should have enough to get all the way over there. Let's make one more mining drill. And again, the only reason I'm doing this is thinking ahead because, again, they take up a lot of space, and when I lay them down, you'll see it. Yeah, good. I can add a third one here if I need to later. So these will actually grab resources from one space around them. So this is all covered. This is all covered, and there's only a little bit here, so I can add one on the end if I want to at some point. If these aren't producing enough, that is. So let's grab that. Where's the edge? Right there. Oops. You're supposed to do what I want. And okay, so now by holding left click, it'll actually put them at the maximum spacing they can go. Alright. Oops. Okay, cool. So now let's use this underground pipe. The reason I'm doing this is so that I can walk past them. Solid pipes, if they're just above ground, you can't walk through them. So you gotta think about that. There's a tree in the way. And as I mentioned, I don't need all 10 right now, but as long as I'm up here and as long as I was making it, I just figured, what the hell. Okay, so those are all connected. Now what I need to do is get the power going so that the drills down there will actually run. Right now they're not running because there is no power. These are all coal inserters, which means they don't run on electricity. They'll grab some coal, stick it in themselves to power the rest of it. This is actually really good for making 2 layers of this. So if I want to put another set of steam engines or just extend them by another 10, I can put a second row of burners and get enough water to all of them. But you can see how much space these actually take up, and if you do another 10 long, it's ridiculous. So I'm putting it up here because it's out of the way. Alright, so let's manually put some coal in here to get the thing running. I'm going to put 4 in each. Oops. And you... And you... I'll even put some wood in here, why not? Cool, so they're heating up. And the performance on top is how much electricity is being consumed. The one on the bottom is how much they're able to provide. And we have coal running, which means the drills are running. And so again, now this is not automated. They will fill themselves and fill the burners and keep that running the whole time. Cool. So we have electricity. Let's get it back to base. I think eventually with this stuff, I want to make the production go this way. Because the copper's on here. I like doing perpendicular things with the copper and the iron. Make them intersect. With the iron coming this way and the copper coming straight up, then I can develop and use this whole area for production. And actually, eventually, I may decide to go up this way for production, because the oil is all up here, and eventually I'll need to get the resources up this direction. Right? Right. So maybe, yeah. Anyway. So let's swap you over to copper. Put some electricity by you. And make sure you're full. Okay, so now you are an electric drill. So again, the goal of this video is to automate the iron production. And again, I want it to come this way eventually. So I'll just... let's see, one iron line coming straight down the middle, I think would be a good idea. Eventually, yeah, so let's just do this. And you're gonna come something like that. Yep. Now the cool thing about these drills is that they don't take any stone anymore. They only take some copper. So let's build some more drills. And then I need more belts. And after I get the iron going automated, then I'll get the copper, or not the copper, the coal automated, put up some inserters so that the furnaces are completely automated. And once I do that, I will call it good for now. Now in the meantime, I want to get the research going too, because these long-handed inserters are cool. Whereas the short-handed inserters takes one from the space behind it, sticks it on the space in front of it. Long-handed inserters has a 2-space reach, so it helps with multiple track developments. That's good. Get some more belt. Eventually I'll tap this stuff and run it into here as well. You need power, don't you? There we go. You actually don't need that. You can go all the way out there, it looks like. Cool. Alright, so that should be enough iron for now. I'm gonna get some coal. You're kind of in the way. Let's move you there. How many more of these are making? I'm making, jeez. All right. I'm actually gonna move you guys over one. Up. There. There. Okay. Just to get them out of the way. Okay. Again, this is gonna be way more coal than I actually need right now, but I can't get around that. God dang it. There. Okay. Now, I don't, personally, I don't like putting the coal and the iron on the same line if I don't have to. I do want to put the iron going down the middle with furnaces on both sides. Which means, no, I won't, wait. How did I do that? I don't remember. I'll just start with something and I'll move it if I need to. Oh, I don't have enough. Give me more iron. Alright, so let's get the coal in the right spot. I should really get these guys going too. How's the copper holding up? Good. Yeah. So this guy is completely full. Alright, so these vial things are what are used for science. And the labs do science to perform research, and with more research you unlock new technologies. Okay, so the iron is flowing. I want to move you guys over, but I need to make a few of you guys. So the question is, do I want the iron on the inside, or do I want the iron on the same track? I think it's going to be useful if I put the copper, or I keep mixing them up. I think it'll be useful if I put the coal on the outermost track. Hey, there's fish. I never noticed that. Okay, so the 10 is enough to get this one done. The next one I want to do after that is, so that's what I'm doing now. The next one is this one, yeah, because this one gives me the underground belts, and the splitters, which are useful. Okay, so let's do... Oops, I'm terrible at this. Oops, I'm terrible. There we go. Anyways, you do staggering like this so that you can fit power poles in the middle. That's the point. Alright, so now you guys need coal. I should probably bring the coal down this way, though. That's my bad. Oops, that's one off. Okay. Alright, so these are, regular inserters, and again, the advanced ones are going to be better than that. So let's do this. Stick a power pole in the middle. I need a few more. They'll get used up eventually. Alright, so now I also need an output. But for now, I'm just going to grab it. But eventually, I'm going to put the output on... Oops, hello. So let's get you guys going. And I need, what, 20 for that? 20. Okay, so let's get 5, 10, 15, 20 for that going. Eventually, they will be used, but I don't need them all right now. So now that we got the iron production completely automated, with the exception of me having to grab it, but I'll fix that once the logistics is done. I'm going to end the episode here, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, please like it. If you're new around here, subscribe, and if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, or feedback, please leave them below. Thanks again so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.